Good morning, good morning, good morning. Come on in, come on in. Good morning, Chainbreakers. Come on in this morning. Welcome. Welcome in to Chainbreakers 365 Live. Just kind of get this shared out a little bit. There we go. Good morning, Chainbreakers. Good morning, good morning. It is good to see you here today on this brisk Tuesday, October the 8th, 2019. But this is going to be a fantastic day because that's the day I choose for it to be. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Hi, I'm Brad Smith. I am your host for Chainbreakers 365 Live and the creator of hashtag Uplift and Rise, and I want to welcome you here today. This is going to be another fantastic day. We're going to take a great look at ourselves today because what I want to take a look at is, are you living to your fullest potential? Now, what I really hope to do in a lot of the talks that I have on here is I want to help you create the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. Now, that might mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people, but this I can tell you because this is an underlying thread that runs through most of our lives, is we are controlled by typically one of two things. Either we're controlled by faith or we're controlled by fear. Now, I don't want the answer easy if you're a strong church-going Christian is to sit here and say that I am driven by faith. But there's a lot of things that we do that turn and say that I'm driven by fear. You see, statistics will show that 4 out of 5 women suffer from anxiety. So when we're talking about suffering from anxiety, what are we talking about? We're talking about being driven by fear. We're afraid of what might happen, right? Fear or anxiety tends to come to us when things feel like they're out of our control, when things feel like we don't have a strong hold on them, that there's a lot of too many things that are slipping through our fingers, things that are not being taken care of, things that feel out of sorts. And that can be coming into something new, because we get a lot of anxiety around something new that we take on in our lives because we're still learning, because we're still growing, because we're still moving into that, right? But a lot of that can come from the unknown, a fear of what might happen. So the one thing that I want to really there's several points that I really want to make today, but let's take a look at fear or anxiety. So when we're talking about anxiety, here's what I want you to really kind of realize. There are things that we can control, and there are things that we cannot control, right? So while there's things we can do to influence them, one of the big topics that goes on in the press, and whether you believe in it or not, whether you feel like we're contributing to this or not, one of the things that's talked about frequently in the news is global warming or climate change, as you were. So truthfully, is there a way that we as an individual can do a whole lot about really making a big difference in climate control? So that's what I want to look at for just a second, because if there isn't a lot we can do, sure, we can try and recycle, we can try to reduce carbon emissions, all those kinds of things. But truly, are we going to make that huge of an impact? Because if you cannot control it, why are you going to worry about it? Why let that totally come over top of you? An example I heard not long ago was, if we're worried about a meteorite hitting us, right? And that is a distinct possibility. There are thousands of meteorites that hit the Earth every single year. But what is the likelihood of honestly being ever hit by a meteorite? And there's really nothing we can do about it, right? So why worry about it? A lot of times we take a look at what's going on in the United States Congress, or what's going on with our president, and why we may or may not like it, right? There's not a lot we can necessarily do to influence it. Yes, we can call our legislatures. Yes, we can break comments out there and try to change people's opinion. But if there's not a lot we can do about it, set it aside. Don't worry about it, because there's nothing you can do one way or the other. So worrying about it, being fearful of it, accomplishes absolutely nothing. So there's those things that we can do nothing about it, and then there's the things in our lives that we can. So sometimes it's in that something new that anxiety comes on to us. So what I'm talking about is really learning everything about them, about those items that we possibly can learn. You know, maybe it's that professional athlete that has to be able to train, to work, to educate himself, to watch game films, to practice, right? It's the guys that will come out after the games and sit and shoot. Larry Bird was extremely famous for this. If you were a big fan of Larry Bird during his active NBA career, is once the game was over, he would head into the locker room, but after everybody left, he would come out and he would shoot from the top of the key, because that was his sweet spot, was from the top of the key. And it was his sweet spot because he did it again and again and again. He got it so repetitious that he knew if he was given the ball when it came into crunch time at the top of the key, he was going to sink the basket. Tiger Woods talked about again and again and again what the importance of him going out and not playing, but being on the range was, to get his game in absolute perfection. There's a lot that we can do to better ourselves. One of the things, some of the things that you'll read, if you look about the very most successful, the richest people in the United States, what you'll hear about them is that they read hours and hours and hours every single day. They're constantly learning. And you might think, boy, these people are already the richest in the world. They're already the most successful. Why do they keep doing that? Because they want to be out on the edge. Warren Buffett reads 10 to 12 hours a day. 10 to 12 hours a day. So we're constantly learning, we're bringing in, we're trying to be on the front edge of everything out there. Maybe it is, you know, at home, maybe in those things at work. And I hope that I'm not losing you today. Right now, I'm seeing that I'm having trouble with my signal, but I'm hoping you're still there. And if you are, please do me a favor, give me a thumbs up. It would mean a big different deal to me to let me know. Just like this, love this, give me a comment, let me know, say hi. Whether it's now or in replay, say hello to me and I'll say hello to you. But I want to make sure that we're always reaching the most number of people that we possibly can. And losing signal would be a real problem right now. So I'm hoping that I'm not losing you. Thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate you dropping that in there. I'm going to try going on, and I'm hoping that we don't have a problem with this. So we're talking about what it is that we can control. And maybe this internet thing is something I can control, and maybe it's something that I can't.